If I say that we had a plumbing leak, that the roof is old, does that mean that people won't come and look or that they won't make an offer on our house? Hey everybody, I'm Lindsay Vallandingham with the Symphony Group at Keller Williams Louisville East. We are a full-service residential real estate company located right here in Louisville, Kentucky, serving all of Kentucky and southern Indiana. We work with seller's disclosures for Indiana and with seller's disclosures for Kentucky, so I can speak to the fact that they are quite different from one another. The seller's disclosure is written and developed by the Real Estate Commission of the state that your home is located in. So they're different from state to state, but essentially they all serve the same purpose. Contrary to what a lot of folks think, is to protect the seller. The seller's disclosure is completed by the seller at the time that they are listing their home, and it's going to fill in the buyer on anything that they know about the property. Kentucky's is pretty extensive, asking questions that you might not expect and some that you would. How long have you lived there? Were you the primary occupant or was there a tenant in place? Do you use the city sewer system? Are you on a septic system? What problems have occurred in the house that you've remedied? What problems have occurred in the house that you haven't been able to remedy? What are the ages of the different appliances in the home, the HVAC system, the roof? You're filling in the buyer with as much information as you know. In a lot of cases, there's the information you know, and then there's also plenty of times that there's information you don't know. So oftentimes there's an opportunity for you to simply indicate that you don't know the answer to that question. And then of course, there are questions that won't be relevant for your particular home. For example, there might be a section about a swimming pool. If you don't have a swimming pool, you probably just skip that section. If your sewer service is taken care of by a municipal entity like the city or the county, then you might skip an entire section about what your septic system looks like, for example. By and large, we're just going through and answering these questions. The reason I say it's so important for sellers is because this is your opportunity as a seller to disclose everything that you know. And many sellers have asked the question over the years, if I say that we had a plumbing leak, is that going to discourage buyers from coming to look at our home? If I say that the roof is old, does that mean that people won't come and look or that they won't make an offer on our house? In my experience, that's simply not the case at all, especially in a market like we're in where it has been consistently a seller's market and buyers are just looking for homes, to buy. They're looking for an opportunity. So these are definitely not things that turn away buyers. They're just trying to gather as much information about the home as possible, just as anyone would want to. You want to know as much as possible about the previous owner's time in the home. And so we're not necessarily taking off points on the home because the furnace is older, because, there's a piece of broken glass in a window pane or something like that. We're just trying to relay as much information as we possibly can to protect the seller and to give the buyer a good, comfortable feeling moving forward with their purchase. So we want them to be comfortable and we want them to not be able then to come back and say, after living in the home for 3 months, Mr. Seller, you never stated that there was this problem. So again, this document serves to protect you from the buyer coming back and ultimately saying that something wasn't disclosed, which that could become problematic in the future. It does not preclude the buyer from then getting a home inspection. This document is information and it's great information. And it is at the end of the day, hopefully everything that the seller knows about the property. All of us who own homes know that there are things about our homes that we don't know. We don't know what we don't know, right? And so there are things that a home inspection is still going to uncover that may or may not even be disclosed in this document because it is very likely that the homeowner just simply doesn't know. I know any home that has a crawl space, as a homeowner, you're probably not climbing into that crawl space every month to check it out. So that home inspection is still crucial. I would never forego a home inspection based on reading through a seller's disclosure and deciding, oh, it seems like it's fine, we don't need to have a home inspection. Definitely wouldn't advise that to any of my clients because again, this is only as good as what the home seller knows about the property. When you go to sell your home and you are completing this document, in Kentucky, it's 5 pages right now. It is less extensive in Indiana, so every state's going to be a little different. Certainly, you want to talk to your real estate agent about what goes into this, how they would advise you to complete complete this form. And yet it's really in your best interest as the seller to complete the form yourself and not have your real estate agent complete it on your behalf, because again, it serves to protect you ultimately as the seller. And so as much as possible, complete the form on your own. Seek guidance from your real estate agent if you have questions about the way that something is phrased, for example, or what something means, or how you should disclose whatever it is that you're trying to disclose. And make sure that you complete your seller's disclosure to the best of your ability, that you disclose as much as you possibly can about the home. When there are opportunities where you don't know, it's okay to indicate that you don't know. That's all right. If you are one of our clients, I would advise that you reach out to us and talk about this seller's disclosure. This is always the homework that I leave behind at a listing appointment. And it's also helpful sometimes if you're able to find the seller's disclosure from when you purchased the home, especially if that's been relatively recently. So you might go back to the agent that helped you purchase the home and ask if they keep their files and if they have the seller's disclosure from when you purchased the property, because sometimes that can be insightful too. Maybe you haven't put a roof on in the 6 years that you've lived at the home, and so you don't really remember how old the roof is. But going back to the previous seller's disclosure might indicate exactly what year they put that on and give you some information that you can then pass along to the new buyer. At Symphony Group, we definitely keep those records on hand for our clients. So we would definitely be able to pay those forward when they then turn around to go and sell the home, to help them have as much information as possible. If you have questions about seller's disclosures, feel free to reach out to us if we are your agent. As always, we're here to help you find your perfect key. You can reach us anytime at symphonyrealtygroup@gmail.com.